If you recognize this bush from my last video, you are correct in thinking it's the same one. We did find more changes to its appearance, but this video isn't about that. It's about the little moving creature we believe is a fairy or tree nymph. At the time it was recorded, a large insect happened to be flying by the bush. It caught the fairy's eye, and you can see him move his head, following the insect. What you can't see is the insect. That part of the video can be seen on a different YouTube channel. I'll leave the link in the description area. We also noticed a bunch of images created by these creatures of the fairies we're used to seeing in books and movies. I went and outlined some of the more noticeable images from around the area of where the bush is located and the bush itself. We found more than just images, but other living creatures as well. Some in full view, some half invisible, ranging from the size of a cricket to as tall as an old oak tree. I'll share with you as much information as I know from the research I've been doing, but most will be theories, as the truth of such things have been hidden from us and made to be only children's bedtime stories. Basically folks, everything we've been told have been lies, and I have a theory about that too. I think that back in the Old Testament days, the people were blinded from seeing them through Isaiah's speech from God, because the people started worshipping such creatures, like the Bible says, and would in the end times be unblinded, like we're seeing now. We believed these were just stories because through history, our ancestors that did see them told their children stories about these creatures, and through the generations, the truth was lost. The images these creatures create are amazingly awesome, but you can also turn the scene around to any of its sides and get a whole new different looking image. Like above, the scene of the moving fairy turned upside down become a little green person singing in a microphone to a red-faced object, which can be shown if I add more color. If you look to the top right side of the screen, you can see a black and white image. That, my friends, is another creature I've seen more than once in my other videos and photos, and also on TV. Also on that same clip, by removing colors in the scene, you can sometimes catch the real creature's images. If I had to guess this guy's size, I would say about the same size of a Barbie doll. Now let's get to what's lurking around this tree nymph. There's a lot more amazing info to show. I see what looks like a trapdoor at the top section of the fairy nymph bush with another little creatures poking out. Above the bush and the trees you can see a lot of movement going on. And later I'll show you how there are aircrafts and what looks like tree huts. Here are some images I pulled from this one scene. I've noticed in a few places they portray images holding large books. I'll point out the ones I see. Let me know in the comment section if you see any I missed. I used an app that cartoonizes the photo. It helps to see the images whether real or created by the real creatures. I'll let you decide. In almost every scene, there are aircrafts, and as the same with the creatures, you can't see them with the naked eye, but you can with a camera. I'm not sure if they're on a parallel dimension or moving so fast they're able to go through other objects, but you can spot their aircrafts by sometimes seeing the windows with silhouettes in them, or by continuously pausing and starting the video. Some of their aircrafts remind me of the vehicles in the Mad Max movie with multiple creatures piled on them. This window, where the moving nymph is, has an image of a fairy creature that looks to be holding a book. It'll show up better the closer we zoom up to it. And you can't see it now as it's cloaked, but as the color changes, look to the right of the book at the edge of the opening. It looks like a mini dragon. You'll see a bunch of dragon and fairy images on this bush, and you might even notice creatures from known fairy tales, movies, and books. So far, I've come across the same images seen on TV, like Frankenstein, Smurfs, The Simpsons, Mickey Mouse, all the aliens from Alien movies, monsters, Santa Claus, witches, wizards, elves, and more. See if you can see any movement here on top of the tool shed. Don't worry if you don't, we'll come back to it. Those spots where it's supposed to be sunlight shining through from the other side isn't always the sunlight. It's either the creatures that glow like the sun, or it's their aircraft's lights. See the aircrafts and they disguise them with images of other objects like giant humanoids and boats or ships. And here's a popular TV character. Do you recognize Kermit the Frog? I can also tell you this with 100% accuracy, they waste no spaces with their image creativity. Every bit of space is an image from the light spots to the in-between dark shaded areas. If you watch closely, you can see how they change their images or how they add an image to cover themselves with. I believe they use a smoky chemical that I've recorded of them spraying from huge machines, and from creatures wearing backpacks, and from hoses they have hanging everywhere, and maybe even from the millions of orbs flying around our home. Check out my videos of you missed the orbs we've captured. It looks like a dragon spewing out smoke. You can just make out the smoky chemical I'm talking about, and a couple times there's a larger than normal orb that zips by. Look at how much the fairy's window has changed from the beginning of the video, matter of seconds. I put together an example of how pausing the video off and on will help show these creatures better and their movements. Watch the dragon's head in the pink area as I added it frame by frame. This is one of the creatures with the backpack spraying the smoky chemical, which is only seen through a camera lens. Only this time he's standing next to another creature with wings. Here's a close-up of a creature against the shed that looks like a typical alien, except they're not aliens and have been here since we have, if not before us. It also resembles the number 7, and then also a sloth-looking animal. There's also a creature that horse in and out of visibility in the open doorway, and another to the right of it, and another in front. By changing the colors, you can help draw out different objects or creatures. When you are watching these videos and are seeing the smaller objects, try also to look for the larger images, as there will most likely be a bunch of different faces. If there's anything that I've learned from discovering these creatures, is that Hollywood's elite definitely know about them too. And they've been giving us the truth in the movies they create by showing us how they can be seen by using a camera lens. Like they show us how ghosts are caught the same way, what they look like, even some history about them if you can read between the lines. And once in a while you can catch phrases that have nothing to do with the movie you're watching. For example, an actor blurts out that there are strange things in our skies, which had nothing to do with the movie. I've also learned that ghosts aren't spirits of dead people. There's really something there that's causing that movement in the corner of your eye. It's these creatures, and there are a lot of them. Not sure if this is a screen of a TV or computer or a picture in a frame image, but I've seen several different ones in several different videos. Remember the movement from on top of the tool shed? Well, here is what was making it. Definitely not sunlight shining through from the other side. Let's zoom in really close and watch the cricket-sized creatures. After some researching, I believe these little guys are the same creatures the hippie tribe people drew on their cave walls in Australia, and also the carvings from here in America. And I'm hoping you've already noticed the one creature I seem to be able to find in almost every place I've recorded and seen in other people's online videos, ranging in multiple sizes, wearing a hooded cloak resembling an elf. No, or maybe they're the wizards from our ancestors' stories. I showed you in my last video of how they've been spotted in multiple movies just sitting in the background as decoration. You can learn a lot about what Hollywood knows just by looking at their props. The next short clip is one of the orbs I told you about. Don't blink or you'll miss it. I happen to record these creatures when they use their magic to create an image to camouflage themselves. A slight glitch on the film is a hint to know they've made this change. Get ready, here it comes. Missed it, didn't you? Also, check out the scary face to the right. After rewatching this section a few times, I happened to see this guy wearing a helmet with a speaker piece like the race car drivers wear. You've probably already noticed how once in a while you'll see shapes of letters. It's not coincidence, I've discovered them in every single photo or video I've taken. What I can't figure out are what the letters are spelling out, and what language it's in. Most likely it's ancient, maybe Sumerian. I took this next scene and used an Adobe to sketch it, so I could show you how all the little images make up larger faces images. From here on out are the bushes and trees that are behind the fairy bush, and they're loaded with crafts and creatures as large as the trees. Here above the hedges are huts with creatures moving around on their balconies. Tell me if I'm wrong, but doesn't that object look like something from CERN's symbol statues? This looks very much like a portal entrance under the hedges. And we can see a bunch of lit up windows, but do they lead to homes on another dimension or aircrafts parked above in the trees? These images or creatures look like they are straight out of a magical mystical fairy tale. When I see what some of these creatures look like, I can't help but realize that they could also be responsible for the Bigfoot, shadow people, Mothman, ghosts, and demon sightings. Above in this clip you can see the creatures that are so dark you can't see them in the shadows, but I've seen some with glowing red or yellow eyes. Watch the pattern of lights above, and you can see them form to a new position. Thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to catch my next ones as there is so much more to share about these end times and its creatures. Please don't forget to hit the like button. It helps move this video closer to the top so more people can see the truth too. It's up to all of us to bring those people out from the dark side.